Hello everyone, True Zero Emissions here. So starting a new video, seconds after the last video just ended. I'm just breaking up the videos into smaller units so that I'm not losing so much if the video fails to upload, which has been a problem. Now I see a lot of slippery stuff on the road. See this stuff from the trees? I want to say leaves, but they're not leaves. Are they pines? I don't know what they are. They're from the trees. They're slippery as can be. It's like ice. You hit that on a turn. If I hit that on a turn, I'll be on the ground in seconds, or less than seconds, milliseconds. Like I'll be on the ground without even knowing it. I'll just be there. And that's what happens, you know, in a crash. It's like, oh, how did I get here? Like, what happened? What went wrong? All we can do is, like, to me, is practice, practice, practice. Get familiar. Let the body get familiar with something that is beyond comprehension, really, to me. I can't comprehend how my body's balancing on this, but because I practice, my body learned to do it. Just like it breathes without my thinking about it. Just like my immune system takes care of my body without my thinking about it, right? Just like my heart beats without my thinking about it, right? Now what we can do, this is newly paved, very nice. What we can do, oh, they fixed the road a lot. A lot of people got hurt on this road, a lot of people. There was holes in it, big holes. People end up in the hospital from this road. In the hospital, I'm talking about on bicycles. People on bicycles coming down this hill in the hospital, okay? Bad. Like skin getting taken off their body, right? Big pieces of it. Okay, positive things, right? We're going to talk about positive things. I'm talking about something negative. But I'm just so happy that the road is fixed. Like, look at this. This turn was terrible here. Wow. Now, they didn't just pave the whole road. They just took care of parts of it. I don't know why they did that. I mean, this still has a lot of cracks in it. But it looks like they took care of the worst of it, right? I'm just happy they fixed a little bit of it. I'm think, like, you know, that's significant. If they fixed all the parts that were just totally like holes in the road, that's a big improvement. And if they want to fix the whole road someday, that's wonderful too. But at least they took a step toward that, right? Because some of the holes were like 6 inches deep and it just dropped. And a bicycle can't do that. I mean, I don't know what can do that really. Even a car would probably break. You hit a 6-inch pothole, right? It'll knock the alignment out. It could break the axle. It sure is cold. Not freezing cold, but it's cool, like cold. It's definitely cold. When the sun comes up, probably in a couple hours, I imagine it might get a lot warmer. But we'll see. We'll see how that goes. So I'm going to talk about the homeless right now and education and jobs. When I was a kid growing up, people would often say, so very few people at that time would say, like, you know, wanting to help homeless people, right? At that time, when I was growing up, it was like people would say, get a damn job or get away from me, like acting like that's less than a human almost, right? Like someone that doesn't have a place to live. And as a child, that was hard to understand because I'm looking at this person like this person needs more help, but they're getting less help. What is going on? Like, how do I even make sense of this? And no matter what adults said to me, it was obvious to me that these people need special help. Now, as an adult now, I have learned a lot about how there's like documentaries and stories and writing about how that will I'm going to say justify, I guess, that perception or reinforce that perception or attempt to by saying, oh, well, they all chose to do drugs and they're just a bunch of people that don't care about other people. They don't even care about themselves and they're not worth helping because they chose to destroy their bodies with drugs, right? Well, then we learn, if we talk to psychologists, not all of them, but a lot of them, especially the most educated ones, in my experience, they'll say, oh, well, self-medicating, right? Self-medicating. You know, when you're suffering, because you don't know what these people have been through in their life, right? If the pain is so high, and they don't want to die, right? They don't want to die, but maybe they want to, but they can't take their life, right? Let's see which way should we go here. I'll go ahead and go this way for now. We'll go some other ways after this. Do this way first. This is dangerous where he's just standing in the road. I don't know why he's doing that. Because bicycles come through here pretty fast. And the vehicles are coming through too. Look how this tree just comes over like that. Wow, amazing. So if a person is like suffering so bad, like let's say, for example, and I've studied this, and I've interviewed homeless people as one of my projects. It was one of my, when I was studying film, I wanted to interview homeless people. I interviewed hundreds of them in different areas. And what I saw was people that were so out of touch with reality that there's no way they could have a regular job, right? I don't know. I can't imagine what kind of job they could have. I mean, everyone's seen people that are just like talking to themselves, and they're it's like they're in a nightmare, right? Some people describe it that way. It's like they're trapped in a nightmare. That's their reality. So they don't see what we see, right? And I just think, that it's important to be open to ways that we can care about one another, and not just be fixated, if I say it that way, on a way that says we don't have to care about certain people, right? Like if someone tells us a story, or there's a lot of stories that like, look, you can look at it this way and then you don't have to care. I don't know. I think it's important to find ways to care, to find ways to be interested, to find ways to relate, if we can, right? Like I was saying earlier in earlier videos, there is no perfect communication, as my teacher said. One of my teachers said more than one teacher said this, but one of my teachers said there is no perfect communication. In fact, all there is flawed communication. That's all there is at best. And don't quote me on that. That's a paraphrase. It's an approximation. I don't remember exactly the words he exactly used, but he was definitely saying that there's no perfect communication and there's only imperfect communication. Meaning, if someone's saying something, the person listening is not hearing what they're saying, like what they mean. We can try to relate, but it's not going to be exactly what they're trying to share, right? Because I remember reading before and hearing also that most of what we hear is what we already know. Like when we're listening to someone, we're connecting it to what we already know. And one of my questions was, when I would talk with my professors and my teachers, is how can we learn to relate to something in a way that is what the other person means? And it requires getting to know the person. It requires getting to know the other person and then we get closer. Not to perfection communication, but to a closer approximation. I'll call it approximation communication, where it's a closer parameter to what they mean, right? Because we're learning to what their world is. It's the only way we can know what someone means, I think. And that's my interpretation of what was being shared with me by my teachers. Okay. There's a road up there. I see it. Path. I feel like I need some water right now. I have water in my backpack. Oh, look what's up there. What's that? Griffith Observatory. I don't know if I've been up here this early in the morning. I feel like this is the first time in my life. Oh, I was like, oh no, the gate is closed. How am I going to get around it? Just the answer's in what I just said. How am I going to get around it? You get around it. That's what we do. We get around it. Micromobility, right? Oh, look, there's no one standing over here. I don't think I've ever seen no one at this intersection here. Usually there's always someone here. It's probably because they're closed right now. There's a path right there too. There's some really steep paths here. Someone was calling, I was watching a video, YouTube video, and someone was referring to the electric unicycle as an all-terrain vehicle. Like saying it can take you anywhere, just about. Like it can take you almost anywhere. And what I really like about it too is that it fits in the car so easily. You know, James was fitting 2 of them in the back of his Tesla in the very back. I'll nod my head to people to say hi. That's how I say hi sometimes. So I don't like this. She was looking at, she's a double take. I'm calling it a double take. She looked twice at me. So I don't like that. That means hi. Like I'm acknowledging them. Now she could be looking at me like, what is that? That's okay. A lot of people do that. Like, what is that thing? Okay, there is a worker up here. Just cleaning, sweeping. I don't see any coordinators though, like where they're coordinating. You know, well, there's no cars up here right now. You know when this is really popular is at sunset time. Oh, a cat. Hi, kitty. Beautiful. Hi there. Hi. Pretty cat. That's my favorite kind of cat right there. What I mean is the big ones. I like when they're big and fluffy. That's a very big fluffy kitty. I love big fluffy kitties. But all kitties are cute. As long as they don't scratch and bite, right? Maybe they're still cute, but it just hurts when they scratch and bite. This is very interesting. We're at the Griffith Observatory. It's beautiful here. I've always loved science. I felt like school, a lot of people have told me this, at school, it felt like school was taking the fun out of science for them. And I feel like in my personal experience of science in school is like I felt like I was having trouble relating to I was having trouble feeling enthusiasm about infinite possibility. And I felt like we were quantifying everything. But not, except like the big stuff. Like how do we ignore Richard Feynman's statement about boiling all the Earth's oceans with 1 cubic centimeter of the energy in space? And I'm talking about the space that is the air we breathe, right? This is a steep hill, I think. I'm going to make sure my feet are far back enough. If I'm not careful, I won't be able to like lean back if my feet are too far forward, right? So I just moved my feet back so that I won't have to struggle so hard in slowing down, because we certainly don't want to pick up speed beyond minimal speed, right? We want to maintain minimal speed for safety of myself and others. And we never want to pass someone fast. And fast just means anything faster than walking. You know, ooh. I gotta be careful right there. Almost went off the road. Some people just look. They're like, "What's that? Wow, it's a spaceship. What else is it? It's a spaceship. That's what it is." Well, the spaceship is parked in the bushes. This is the vehicle I use to get around when I'm, instead of walking, right? I mean, I could totally imagine someone pulling up in a UFO and coming out with this. And when are these going to be starting to be used in movies? Right? There's so many people that could do the stunt work that are good at writing these, you know. I mean, you could take any of the racers, right? Any of the racers, and what is this way? I don't think I've ever gone this way. We'll find out. So as many of you know, because of my injuries from when I was a kid, I had really, really bad injuries to my leg. Well, to my whole body, really. And not just one leg, both legs. I would not be able to go through, I could not go through this area, you know, without the help of something. And I have used electronic devices like medically prescribed, and they break down. They can't handle this. And they also tell me that they're not going to cover, the insurance won't cover using a vehicle outside of the home. And I'm just like, that doesn't make sense. What if I want to go to Griffith Park? So I'm kind of on my own to find a solution, which I think I have. But the rules are respect safety, respect etiquette, right? I got my bell right here. Well, this is a little bit louder than the bell. I do need to get another bell that fits, because I have a bell that I wear on my finger, and it does work, but there might be one that I could find that fits better. Oh, we have a paved road right here. Now, I don't really know where I am right now, but luckily, because I have a range of like 100 miles right now at this speed, I can explore. And I think it'd be fun to explore all the paths that I can, right? But I'll tell you right now, you come through here fast, they'll have the Rangers on you instantly. That already happened. There was a group of EUC riders coming through here, and I was riding with them. And we weren't going fast, but we definitely weren't going walking speed. And there was dust getting kicked up. I don't know how many people called to complain, but the Rangers came up, and you know, you can't make people feel unwelcome, unsafe in their own place. Like, this is for people to feel safe. And I think kicking up dirt and going fast and startling people, possibly, if that's one of the things that's happening, will cause escalation, right? But luckily, I will say that the Rangers that work at Griffith Park are an extreme level of professionalism. And they know they know de-escalation. They know. I don't know what kind of training they get, but I think they have the best. Griffith Park, best training. And they have a fleet of vehicles over there. If you look at what they have, their resources. There's a dirt road. This is a paved road. Maybe we could explore both. Let's see. Let's go this way. Okay, my head's itching. It's hard. Now, I might make my bell go off when I scratch my head right now. I don't think I've ever seen this road before. This is very interesting. This is like a puzzle. It's like a maze, right? Now, if it gets hot, I'll probably be heading back. But right now, it's cool enough that I'm interested in exploring. This looks like it's someone's driveway. Look. Whoa. Oh, look at that siren. That looks like I want to call it an air horn or a siren for the war. Look at that right there. You see that? I feel like what's changing let me focus on turning around right now. If I say perception of war, but that's not the right words to use, but I'll just use that for now until I could think of a better word, is that I feel like in the past, War was a competition almost, but a competition with real lives at risk, right? And a lot of innocent people that have nothing to do with anything dying on both sides, right? And then we also include the soldiers themselves on both sides dying. And then how does it work? When enough people die, we say, okay, now we can stop fighting. Now it feels like war is something that no one wants, right? No one wants it, because we really all know what the consequences of it are. Okay, where did I come from and where am I going right now? I think I came from up there. No, I didn't. Came from over here, didn't I? Because I remember looking right. That's how I know. But I don't know where this goes. I have to be careful that my cord doesn't get caught on something when I'm writing. So, look how low these trees are. But I like how the path is still, I can still get through here. I mean, these trees are trimmed better than the bike path in the city. I guess, do they have a bigger budget here? Oh, I spoke too soon, didn't I? Look at that path. I don't think I'll be taking that way. Usually what happens, because I've thought to myself, oh, well, that looks like I can get through that part, right? But what I find is when it's not just like that in one spot, it tends to just keep having those kind of, and the trail might be real small. I don't want to be in a dangerous environment for myself. Okay, let me think. We already went that way. I'm going to turn around here. Now that property had a gate. It made it look like this is the road they use to get in and out, but that might be a back gate. There might be a front gate that lets them go directly down the hill or something. But who knows, maybe this is the way they take. This looks like soft dirt, I have to be careful. Okay, now I'm going to try going right. And I don't know if I can get over that. I'm still a beginner. I'm not going to try. There will be a day that I try things like this, but I'm not there yet, and I'm not in a hurry to get there. It doesn't make sense to say what I'm going to say right now, but if I'm in a hurry to do anything, I'm in a hurry to take my time with this process, if that makes sense. I don't know if that could be said that way, but I'm just going to say it that way. Not in a hurry, but if I was, I would. The urgency would be to relax. That would be like a priority. To just relax, take it slow, let the body do what it does. Right. Now, some people say that humans work best under massive pressure and being pushed beyond their limits, and then great things happen. But I don't know. I'm not saying not to study hard and not work hard, but as long as the environment is respectful and supportive, it seems like it could work, but not if there's yelling and screaming and things like that. Especially, I think that can be triggering to people and just make them shut down, and the brain literally turns off. Like the brain stops thinking, it stops making choices that are like obvious to us, that might be obvious to even to the person themselves. Well, I have no idea where I am right now. That was such a strange sound. Like, at first I didn't know what that was. It sounded like a crackling sound, like a two-stroke engine, like a motorcycle. I was like, is that a motorcycle coming? I don't know where this is right here. I don't know where I am. One interesting thing about the electric unicycles is the hill can be extremely steep, and this thing will climb it and go down and go up, and it's like amazing. Much more than like a two-wheeled bicycle or I don't know about a motorcycle. Maybe, I don't know. That would be interesting to have a competition and just see, just for like as an experiment. Wow, I really don't know where this is coming out. And I also don't know if I could come up in a different area. Okay, everyone, I'm going to start a new video because I don't want the videos to be too long. We'll look a little bit here and see. Oh, there's this drop. I don't know where this is. We'll look a little bit before I stop the video. See if I recognize this area. Wow, I really don't. Oh, is this okay, I think I know where we are. Up here to the left might be the Greek, I think it's called the Greek Theater. I'm not sure if that's the right words. A theater. I'm not sure which theater it is. I did it again. I got really close to the cement on the left side. I have to stop doing that because if I keep getting close, one time I'm going to hit something and it's going to knock me off the unicycle like I did in the mountain when I bumped into the mountain, the side of the mountain, and it knocked me off the unicycle and I rode down the hill. Okay, I've been here before. I saw a performance here. I forgot the woman's name that performed. It was a very interesting and very creative performance. Memorable. And I see buses here now, so it looks like something's happening. Okay, my forehead's itching. That's one thing about a helmet is if your head itches or some part of your head itches that you can't reach, it's not easy to sometimes it's not easy to reach the area. Okay, let's see. I might have to get off. It looks like I do. Well, unless I go up here. Let's see if there's another path where I don't have to get off the electric unicycle and lift it up. I see something over there. I'll go up here and see what this looks like. Yeah, I think if I was getting, talking about which electric unicycle I would want to get right now, if I was getting a new one, I think if I was buying a new electric unicycle right now, I do think I would get the Sherman L, because it has 50% more range and 50% more capacity and can be charged at 20 amps instead of 15 amps. And I'm a big fan of fast charging, not beyond the limits of the battery, but within the limits, within the recommended limitations of the battery. Right? Within the limitations of the battery. I don't see any paths up here. This looks like it's just a place to turn around. I don't see any path. I don't see any roads. Look at that old tree right there. Wow. Well, it looks like it burned at some point in time, a long time ago. A long time ago, probably. Okay, I don't see any paths up here. So we're going to go back. I don't know if people park up here or what they do here. I don't know. If you don't want to hear me humming, you can just turn the sound down. Okay. Okay, let's see what's happening here. I think there's a ride tonight called Tails Up. Oh, there's a couple rides tonight, but one's in Orange County, which takes me an hour and a half to get to. And I don't know. I don't know how often I'm going to be going. Maybe I'll just go to the really big rides, like if they have like an 80-mile ride. But Marty has the really big rides. So how many times a week do I need to do a big ride? That's one question I have for myself. Or a rhetorical question. That's a very steep little cement driveway right here. Or curb. Okay, where's that path at? Let me see what this is over here. I don't think this is a path, but let's see what it is. It might just be for... That ends right there, doesn't it? Looks like it ends right there. Oops. I have to watch where I'm going because I'm like going in little holes in the road. Oh, I think I can go up here. so I don't have to lift the unicycle up. But this is slippery. Let's see if I can do this. I can't believe I'm doing this. Ooh, I just slid. I don't know how I'm still up right now. It's extremely slippery. But I rode it out. They call it ride it out on an electric unicycle. Ride it out. I mean, don't give up, right? So I think that's why I didn't fall, because I slid, but I didn't jump off, right? Okay, so now I'm moving my feet back to the front, because when I lean forward, I can go up. Now, if I'm too far back, then I have to lean forward more, and it seems like it makes my muscles more tired. So it's easier if I just am standing forward, kind of. And I have the electric unicycle leaning forward 3 degrees, right? It's set to -3, which on the Lynx app is forward 3 degrees, if I understand correctly. But it is the number 3. I think it's degrees. Okay, so if I was buying an electric unicycle right now, would I get the Sherman L? Yes, I think I would. Am I happy with the Lynx? Yes, I'm happy with it. Do I want to sell the Lynx to buy a Sherman L? I don't know. I may not, because what's the next thing that's going to come out? Can they make a Sherman L Plus or something that continues what they did between the Lynx and the Sherman L? Sherman L, yeah. So what they just did between the Lynx and the Sherman L, can they do that again beyond the Sherman L? And will it be like a 6,000 watt hour, charge it at 40 amps, right? And, or something like that, right? Charge at 40 amps max. Not all the time, just as needed. Because now we're getting up to charging at the full power of an electric vehicle charging station. Right now we could plug in like 10 e-bikes and we're still not using as much power as an electric vehicle takes from a charging station, right? From a level 2 EV charging station, which can be anywhere from 6,000 watts up to 40,000 watts. That's what I was told, that they're rated for up to 40,000 watts. But there's not less than 6,000 watts. I think the 6,000 watts is what some of the onboard chargers do on the level 2 charging electric vehicles. For example, like the Fiat. The Fiat didn't have level 3 charging, and the onboard charger was only pulling 6,000 watts. And I'm thinking to myself, well, if the level 2 charging can handle up to 40,000 watts, why not put a 40,000 watt charger on it, or at least a 30,000 watt or a 35,000 watt? And I also wanted to know, why was my heater on the Fiat taking 8,000 watts? I couldn't believe that. I don't think the Tesla has a heater for the cabin inside the vehicle that takes 8,000 watts. And the Fiat's this little vehicle, and why would it have such an inefficient and energy consuming heater that heats up the cabin, heats up the inside, right, the air? I was so surprised by that. So to see that, I just had to program the navigation that came with it, and you have to like bind it to the car or get them to communicate together. And one of the screens or displays that can be looked at is the one that shows how much energy is being used. Okay, what way are we going now? I'm going to go down this. Okay. Did I already go down? I don't remember. Look at that hole. This is where I have to watch where I'm going, right? Otherwise I could end up... I don't want to turn left right now. I just don't. I'm going to turn right. Ooh, that was close. But I stayed on it. See? So a lot of times I'll feel like I'm going to crash, but I just stay on it. And I just act like I'm going to keep riding after whatever's happening is over with, right? So I don't say to myself, I'm crashing, jump off. I don't do that. In the beginning, I think I did, and then people told me there's something called ride it out, like just stay on it. Because a lot of times the wheel, it just wants to stay up. And if you give it a chance to, it will. So, but you have to do what works for you. I'm just sharing what was shared with me and what I did with the information that was shared with me. Okay, everyone, we're going to And this video is True Zero Emissions signing off for the moment. We'll be back in a few seconds with another video. And I'm making these short videos because I've been losing my 3 and 4 hour videos after they take a week or two to upload, which they're not uploading. And what happens is it just says upload failure or something, right? Like that. And I'm using my phone, so I load the Insta360 Ace Pro. I load the video from the camera, the Insta360 Ace Pro camera, onto the phone, and then I load it from the phone directly to YouTube. But I'm having trouble with getting it to load to YouTube. That's where I'm getting stuck. Okay, I'm moving my feet back. Okay, I'll be back in a few seconds with a new video. See you soon. Stop recording.